Hey friends, Chuck here. So we've been studying the book of James in our Tuesday and Thursday evening Bible studies. And I thought I'd just bring you an idea that's been an encouragement to me, and I think it's been a help to the entire group. James says in chapter 1, 2 through 4, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you fall into various trials." And the verse goes on to say that trials produce steadfastness and steadfast, perfect maturity or maturity so that you're not lacking in anything. So we've read these verses before. I've read these verses before. I'm sure you have too. And we know that living a cross centered life means that we want to respond in a Christ like way when trials and adversity come into our life. But I've been kind of parking and thinking on this word, or what he calls them, his brothers and sisters. 15 times in the book of James, he addresses them as brothers and sisters. Now, this would be an incredible encouragement to the church. James is a big name in the early church. He's right up there with somebody like Peter and maybe the Apostle John. This, by the way, is James, the Lord's brother. His name is right up with those names, and we know that because he was with them at the Jerusalem Council and seemed to have a pretty big voice at that event in Acts 15. So we know that living a Christ-centered life means we respond well to adversity. But if we're thinking about it from the perspective of James, living a Christ-centered life means that we encourage people that are in adversity. And that's what James does here. Now, we're in pretty trying times right now. We have these precautions going on because of the potential pandemic in our country and in the world. And all of us are going through challenging times. I've been thinking about this phrase, brothers and sisters, and imagining James going through as much as these people are going through, and frankly, maybe a little bit more. A little bit more persecution, maybe even a little bit deeper in poverty. We're not quite sure. But we know it wasn't a cakewalk for James. And so James, despite the challenges in his own life, reaches out with the love of Christ to people that are hurting. This reminds me of the life of Jesus. Jesus that encouraged other people despite the pain that he himself felt. John 14, for example, has come to mind, where Jesus is there at the table with his disciples, and he's about to go to the cross. No doubt there's this um, feeling of that he knows there's physical pain, there's spiritual pain involved with the cross. There's going to be a mysterious turning away as the Father turns away from the Son. My God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus, with all this potential pain weighing over his head, he looks at his disciples and says, "Let not your hearts be troubled." He is encouraging them even when he himself is in a trial. And so living a cross-centered life means we respond well to adversity. It also means that we want to do our best to encourage other people, even when times are tough, and even when times are tough for us.